Hi there. I thought I'd talk about a few things that when we talk about spiritual truth or spiritual kind of different energies, there seems to be some paradoxes that kind of come into play. Things that, well, you just said this, but actually to fulfill that, you need to be like this, and so on and so forth. So there's just a few that maybe we'll touch on just for the fun of it, and just to help maybe give some clarity in the sense that the paradoxes, it's not a contradiction. You just have to see into it enough to make sense of the aspects that need to be touched on. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it sounds complicated, so we like to dismiss it, to kind of, I'm confused, I don't want to even take a look at it. So all I want to do is just introduce a few things that maybe you'll be able to have a little bit more tolerance for some of the paradox. So one of the paradoxes is you often hear is the fact of an aspect of letting go and holding on. I've learned a lot in the last while. Is I've been holding on to an awful lot of things that certainly aren't serving me and are not being a benefit, and the things that I'm holding on to seem to be tied to maybe false belief systems or to some things that aren't really true or not very valid or very important. And sometimes I put more onus on what other people think rather than what I think or what spirit thinks or what the right thing is to do, and so on. So there's an aspect of learning what to let go of and what to hang on to. There's the things to hang on to or at times hope and desires and the inspiration and looking for waiting for a little bit more of some of the confirmations along the way. So you're just kind of hanging on to the things that are enticing you and letting go of the things that no longer serve you. So it's just part of you just to in order to do that sorting process, that it's kind of a dance as to what to hang on to, what to let go of, is trust your intuition, trust your objectivity, that you have enough of a sense to analyze it in a way that makes sense to your spirit, to your heart, and just carry on. And just make sure the things that you're hanging on to aren't supported by things that aren't really true. So another paradox might be the idea of finding strength in surrendering. It's like sometimes the wise thing to do would to walk away from a situation when my ego would probably want to engage in the situation, either with a narrative or an action or something. So it's the ability to come across a situation and realize that I can surrender to it. I may not like what's going on, but it would be maybe self-serving to engage with it, in have a choice there to maybe I'll trust spirit. I'll trust my higher self. I'll trust my spirit guides to help me navigate that as I go forward, knowing that in the moment, engaging or doing what I would maybe normally do was maybe not the right idea. So anyway, touch on that. As far as another paradox is the aspect of embracing individuality, authenticity, and in relation to the interconnectedness of all beings. So there's always a push to find out who you are, find out what your gifts are, find out what your calling is, find out what your individual blueprint is, and seek after that, kind of weed through it and kind of get to know yourself. Don't just want to be someone else or be like someone else. Find out who you are and embrace that, because you're unique, you're special. I've talked about this before. You have a unique imprint. You have a signature that resonates with all the universe, that is uniquely yours. But how do you mirror that with the fact that we're all the same? We're all from the same spark. We're all in the essence. We're all just as valuable, important. We're all a key player in all that is, and we all need to be a part of this collective web here. So to realize that there is no greater than or lesser than, and how would you walk in your authenticity without overshadowing someone else and their abilities or their authentic self and so on. So there's a little bit of a dance there, and that's kind of fun to kind of ponder as well. Another paradox is the aspect of seeking and finding. There's often an energy to always want to expand. I'm always seeking. I'm always striving. I always want to know more. I want to get more. What's interesting about the striving and the seeking is that's actually a karmic energy, and that is something that as you evolve and be able to break down and learn your lessons and stuff, there might become more of an ease, and you'll be less striving, more going after, more of the seeking energy, and kind of releasing and letting the finding just happen with the ease of joy and what delights your heart, and then the simple things. What's interesting about seeking and finding is there's almost we always think that there's a key to open that next door. There's always some kind of a process in order to have a further revelation. What's interesting about it is that our striving almost becomes counterproductive, because it's that energy of always striving that resides in your heart that I'm not enough. I need more information. There's no real peace. And that's the energy that the universe hears. So it draws you more what's not peaceful. So if you let it go, to seek and let it go and trust the universe is going to pour it upon you. It's that in the release and the resting in that aspect of just letting go. What the irony is the fact that as we're waiting for that door to open, because we've been knocking, it's actually us looking within that has the power to open that door, and we will if we let it. It's another part of that surrendering that we had talked about just earlier. So another paradox to touch on is the aspect of being present in the moment, and pairing that with planning for the future. There's nothing wrong with planning. It's the balancing of the mindfulness of the present moment with the practicality of planning for the future. So to be mindful in the moment, that you're not so fixated on what's going on tomorrow or next week that we lose the moment or the jewels or the beauty that's all around us, or the conversations or the engagement. So there's nothing wrong with planning, and but give yourself permission to maybe change the plans, or maybe you wake up in the morning and say, well, I'm going to change it up a little bit, and don't beat yourself up about it. just assess your energy and what you want to do, and be playful or be energetic or take it easy, have rest, or whatever you go. There is no right or wrong. Maybe the right or wrong aspect is not listening to maybe what your body needs, what your spirit needs, and so on. So just that balance of giving yourself permission to change some of the plans. And there's no, if you didn't do everything you had planned for that day, it's not like you failed or weren't productive. Just let it go, because you took some jewels out of that day that you weren't anticipating. And as I say, everyone asks me, I say, I had a perfect day, because I'm totally in control as to how my days go. So I am blessed. I just want to touch on those. It's kind of fun. These paradoxes, they often challenge us to embrace the complexity of spiritual truths and so on. There's different aspects to always ponder. We're actually multifaceted in our nature. We're multidimensional beings. So things things can really shift if we just give it room to actually move. And there's so many things that with our finite mind, we can't even imagine. As we grow, we'll find that things are that we couldn't think of maybe 2-3 years ago, or things that, oh, we can ponder them now and we can assess them a little bit differently, or we start to recognize some of the paradoxes when they show up. And it's kind of a fun thing to do. We have to understand that these paradoxes and the journeys and all the things that we set our course on, or things we try and figure out, it's not about a race. It's not about a finish line. It's not about an accomplishment. It's just a journey. Be engaged, enjoy it. There's no real right or wrong. It's just a matter of you assessing your reality, being a part of it, enjoying it, and just kind of want you perhaps to ponder some of the paradoxes. Don't be overwhelmed by the contradictory nature that they might present, but just kind of embrace them and just sit in them sometimes, and just kind of maybe ask Spirit what you want in your paradigm to be stretched a little bit in order to have a different perspective than what you already have. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.